All right, so listen up. I've got a great video for you today. We've got jalapeno poppers, grilled chicken, gazebos, lazy dogs. Javi, you want jalapeno poppers? Hey, that's what I thought. And hungry dogs. Was the food good? Okay. You can take it. People. And I am just chilling here with one of my longtime buddies, Arnell. What's going on, buddy?
How are you?
Good. Well, he already knows that. We've been hanging out for hours. We just don't know what to say right now, so we're looking really stupid. And the usual noisy neighbors. I mean, this is going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. This is going to rival the best movie you've ever seen. All right, it's probably not, but just watch anyway. Once again, welcome back, everyone. Always good to have you here. I really appreciate all your support. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video, and consider joining as a member. It would really help, and I would really appreciate it. Alright, so this was a Saturday, and it turned out to be a rainy Saturday, so it was a perfect opportunity for me to use my new gazebo, and we were having some people over. I had my daughter and her fiance coming, and I had a friend and his daughter coming, so we needed a place to stay dry, or I needed a place to stay dry while we cooked. And I'm going to go over some special features on this gazebo in a little bit, but for starters, I just want to show you what I cooked, and I'm going to run through how I prepared everything. I know everybody appreciates that, and after all, I am a food channel, so I made grilled chicken, and I made jalapeno poppers. Those were on me. That was my responsibility. All the sides were the duty of other people. So let me just show you really quickly how I prepare grilled chicken for my family and how they like it. If it's just a quick cook, nothing fancy, just some plain old grilled chicken, but there's some things you can do to make it out of this world delicious, and let me show you how to do it. So when it comes to trimming chicken, there's a lot of different ways and there's a lot of different opinions. For me, this area here is really key, the area where the bone meets the meat, and there's usually some cartilage there. I like to get rid of that part because not always, but sometimes you can get some pretty chewy cartilage and it's just nasty. I don't like it, the kids don't like it, so I always trim that out. Then I go around and I just trim off any of the hard fats just because they're ugly and nobody wants to eat that. So just remove all that, or don't. It's your choice. Now for your normal, everyday, weeknight, or even easy weekend cook, I do like to butterfly these breasts. And I'll just cut them all the way through in the center. This will help improve the cook time and make things a little easier. And don't worry, if you do this right, you're not going to overcook it. Now if it's a humongous breast, then I'll butterfly it, and I'll even cut it down the center again, just to keep the sizes pretty close to equal, and that way everything gets done roughly around the same time. Now I do want to say that there is a better way to make chicken breasts, and I did that method on the S&S Grills channel. I'll put a link down in the video description for you, and I'll throw one up in the iCard here, but that is a longer method that requires a dry brine and so on, and sometimes you don't want to go through all that. So to keep this easy, I'm just showing you the second best way that I do chicken, but if you want, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll do that same video that I did for S&S here on my channel. Alright, once you have your chicken all cut and trimmed, it's time to season it, and my family really loves Lawry's on chicken. It goes great on chicken, it goes great on pork chops, and I like to just season this up pretty generously, and then I'll let it hang out in the fridge like this for a couple hours before the cook. Just want that salt to pull some moisture out of the meat, and then it'll liquefy the Lawry's and it'll sort of pull all that moisture back in. And it's just something you can do if you have a couple hours before you're going to grill this up. Do this little mini brine. A longer salt brine is always better, but this is just a quicker cook, so you don't even have to brine these if you don't have time. Just season them up and throw them on the grill. But because it's a Saturday, I got a little bit of time, and I'm going to let these hang out for a couple hours in the fridge like this with this seasoning on it. So hit both sides up and put it in the fridge and let it chill and let it soak up that salt. Alright, now that your chicken's ready to go, it's time to get into the jalapeno poppers. Alright, now when it comes to jalapeno poppers, it always, and I mean always, starts with the cream cheese. This is one package of cream cheese I put in the microwave for about 30 seconds to soften it up, then just flatten it out a bit before you get into seasoning it. For the seasoning, you can use any of your favorite rubs. I want to give a huge shout out to PS Seasonings for always sending some delicious stuff into the channel, and this particular one is a nice, mild, and flavorful rub that's going to go perfect for this recipe. This is a beer can chicken rub, and it has a good mix of sweet and savory and saltiness, and it's perfect. We're going with a non-spicy version of the jalapeno poppers today. My daughter requested these, and sometimes she wants them real spicy, sometimes not. Today, not so much, so we're going with something nice and mild, and this has just got a ton of flavor. Just FYI, I will have links down below for PS Seasonings. Please go check them out. They support me. If you would support them, it'd be great. Plus, they have some amazing products. Okay, so I also added a couple tablespoons of dried chives to this. Goes perfect with the cream cheese. Personally, I'm a huge fan of black pepper, so I add a little bit more than the normal person. This is probably about 3/4 of a teaspoon. Now a hefty tablespoon of minced garlic. Then just a good mix to combine all this goodness together. And about a minute later, you're all ready to go. Now let's get on to the jalapenos. I'm using a little different cut today than normal, so let me show you how I'm doing it. It actually turned out really good. Now the very first thing that you're going to need to do is use gloves. Guys, listen to what I'm telling you. Use gloves when you mess with jalapenos. All right, my first cut is right at the top, really close to where the stem meets the pepper. I want to preserve as much yield as possible of the pepper. So once that's done, make a slice right down the center. Very slowly, don't cut yourself, and you want to have equal parts on each side. Now to clean out the insides, we're going to use this nifty little tool called Tomato Shark. Yep. Tomato Shark. I'll leave a link down below if you're interested in one. And yeah, they work way better than spoons. So just scrape out the insides, but when you get to the very top of the pepper, just go ahead and kind of round that out because you don't want to take the top of the pepper off. We want to leave that in place so that it holds all the cream cheese in place throughout the cook. Now just repeat that umpteen times until all your peppers are ready. Then you can just grab a spoon and start filling these with cream cheese one by one. Lastly for these, you just want to wrap each one with bacon. Now I use half a slice of bacon on each one because we're only using half a pepper, and I'm using Kirkland bacon, which is sort of in between thin and thick, but it works perfectly. Just secure each one with a toothpick and set it aside for seasoning. And we're using another PS Seasonings product. This is Notorious PIG Rub, and that's kind of a funny name. No, there's no East Coast, West Coast stuff going on here, but this has really got amazing flavor, and it goes perfect on everything. You can use whatever your favorite seasoning is, but if you want some of this stuff, I'm going to have an affiliate link down in the description. Please support those that support me. PS Seasonings is a huge supporter of the channel, and they make amazing products, so check them out. And just like that, all the food was prepped and ready to go. Now, let me show you my new little cool gazebo I have outside. For more on that, let me turn it over to me. All right, you guys are going to walk outside with me? Oh, yeah. Out onto the porch. And here we go. It's raining out. It'll be a perfect day to show you what I have to show you, which is really cool. Oh, let me turn this around so you can see. Now, I wanted this because I wanted to be able to do cooks when it rains, because this channel is partially how I earn a living now, and a lot of times the weather, like the rain or the snow, it keeps me from being able to get work done. So can't have that when you got mouths to feed. Not being able to work when it's raining or snowing, it kind of sucks. And this is going to enable me to be able to get things done when I need to. I've done some test shots under here. I get really good lighting, even without having to have lights, as long as it's daylight out. And yeah, I really like it. So I want to tell you a little bit about it. So for starters, mine is a 10 by 12. I just wanted the smallest size. It weighs about 300 pounds, but they have sizes much bigger than this, much bigger than this. So I'll have a link down below. It may or may not be an affiliate link, I don't know, but I'm going to disclose to you now it may be. So this has a galvanized steel roof, and it also has a rust-resistant frame, which is great because it's outdoors, right? So this is built to withstand weather. Consistent winds, I believe up to 50 miles an hour is what I read. Now, I'm not sure if that's with or without the legs being bolted down. Now, I did have some guys help me with this because I am not like a putter together of things. I've told you all that many times. So I had them put in these concrete slabs or footings, if you will, so that we could bolt these legs down, because this is going to be this thing's permanent home. Now it has these privacy curtains, and there's also like a insect net, so you can pull these things out and they will go all around. to keep you away from the sun or give you privacy or keep you away from bugs, which is super cool. The outside of this is nice, it's classy, it's sleek, and you can see this pop top roof up there. I'm going to show you from the inside. So what this does is it gives you ventilation. So I can cook under here and I can let that smoke go out the top, and it even has a screen up there to keep bugs out. This is also all flame retardant material. This roof is snow pressure resistant up to 22 pounds a square foot, I believe is what it says in the booklet. And you can see these hooks up at the top of the ceiling, one there, one there. Those will withstand 20 pounds of weight. So if you want to hang lights or decorations, at some point I'm sure I'm going to do that for when I'm filming at night especially. And if I didn't mention, this also has drainage gutters up top. I'll give you a shot of that now. And now that you know about the new gazebo, it was time for my buddy and I to kind of hang out underneath it, stay out of the weather, and start the cook. So here's the Camp Chef Apex preheating and getting ready to handle those jalapeno poppers. Quick side note. So one of the things that I have always hated about the Apex is that smoke comes out of the pellet hopper, even when there's not a backburn. I don't know why, but there's some kind of design issue. I'll show you. There's no backburn. It's just doing that, and it's one of the things I hate about this grill. I love a lot of things about it, don't get me wrong, but that's just something that annoys me because normally when you see that, you have a backburn and you have a problem you have to attend to. So it could scare you if you're not used to it. All right, back to voiceover, Mike. Anyway, I got these poppers on. I run them around 225 for a while, and then I'll crank it up to about 275 or maybe even a little higher at the end to crisp up the bacon. But we were just hanging out while these were cooking. I am just chilling here with one of my longtime buddies, Arnell. What's going on, buddy?
How are you?
Good. Well, he already knows that. We've been hanging out for hours. We just don't know what to say right now, so we're looking really stupid. We got Arnell and his daughter over today. My son and her are hanging out. The rest of my family and my daughter and her fiance will be here shortly to eat. So I'm going to walk you through the rest of this cook with a voiceover, but just wanted to introduce you to one of my longtime friends. And by the way, he does mortgages in what states? What states?
Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan, Tennessee, and Florida.
Florida. Everybody's moving to Florida. And Arnell has been doing my mortgages for over 20 years. I don't know, how long have you been doing this now?
23 years.
23 years. So if you live in any of those states and you need a refi or you're going to buy a house, I'm not going to put his phone number out here on YouTube, so I'll tell you what. If you want to get a hold of Arnell for a loan, just email me, everydayfamilybbq@gmail.com, and I'll forward it to him and he'll get you done. I'm telling you, this guy's great. You got to use him. You really do. Otherwise, you're sacrificing a really good experience. Did I sell that good?
Yeah, that's great.
All right, cool. All right, now we're going to go back to swearing and doing guy stuff. See you later. All right, so let's get back to the educational part of this video. I do want to tell you how I cook up this grilled chicken. Doing this on the Weber gasser today, and I'll preheat this to about 350, 400, 450 degrees. Once it's preheated, just get the chicken on and allow it to sear on that first side. Then just flip it over to the other side, and you may have to do this a couple of times until the chicken's done. And speaking of done, that's the most important part. That is the absolute key to juicy, perfect, delicious grilled chicken. So let's talk about it. Make sure you have an Insta-Read thermometer handy. I have the ThermoWorks here, but you can use any one that you want. Just make sure you have an Insta-Read thermometer handy. I also like to have a bowl or a plate ready with some tin foil because as the chicken gets done and finishes, I like to take it off the grill and put it in that tin foil to finish cooking. And that's the key, is pulling it at the right temperature. You're going to want to take the chicken off between 158 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit. By removing the chicken at that temperature and wrapping it in the foil, you're allowing it to finish cooking up to over 160 degrees, which is safe to eat. A lot of people will wait until it's 165 just to take it off the grill. Then it continues to cook and it gets dry and it sucks and nobody wants to eat it. If you want juicy chicken, pull it at 158 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. That's how you're going to get results like this after just resting it for a few minutes. Now, once everything was done, we had a real feast. Everybody enjoyed the food. We cut up the chicken and used it for salad. Some people made sandwiches, and it was just a glorious night. Everyone had a great time together, and we really enjoyed our day. The chicken is delicious, and I'm about to try one of these poppers here. Cheers. All right, everybody, that's a wrap. This was a successful day. This is probably going to be a long video. I won't know till it's edited, but if you made it to the end, you're a real one, and I appreciate you. All right, that's it. I appreciate you guys. Love all of you. You've been with me since the beginning, most of you. And hopefully there's new people watching this that will jump on board and continue to follow my journey here. I got a lot to say about YouTube, and in fact, I'm probably going to do a video on how I got started and why I do it, and all the great, wonderful things that have happened to me as a result. But that's for another video. Anyway, take care till next time. I'll see you on the next episode.